Hi, Miss Cecilia. First video here, fossil record for evidence for evolution. So to begin with, what are fossils? Well, fossils are preserved remains or impressions of once living organisms. Now, scientists can use relative dating to figure out when these organisms were discovered in evolution. Now, specifically, relative dating is the layers in the rock. Now, specifically, it's the layers in which the fossils were found in the rock. So this means that older fossils from millions and millions of years ago were found at the bottom, while newer, younger discoveries of fossils and evolution are at the top, which means that they are younger. Now, an example of these fossils and organisms that once lived, a great example would be a transitional fossil, specifically the Tiktaalik. Now, the Tiktaalik was a hybrid between part fish and part tetrapod, and this meant that it had four limbs, but the limbs had webbed feet, which meant that it was part fish and lived in the water. So at the time, this was a great evolution for four-legged land-dwelling animals because now they were starting to come up from the sea onto land. And another example of a fossil gone through evolution is the Maiacetos enus. Now, this organism had hip bones that were sturdy enough to hold it on land, but it lived in the ocean because its fossil remains were found with sea creatures. Now, the Maiacetos enus had short legs with flat toes, which pretty much suggests that it was a strong swimmer and that it had webbed feet and hands. Now, in relation to it, another organism that pretty much shared similarities like teeth and the ear bones was the Basilisaurid. Now, these two shared similarities, which means they were common, and that means they were both had a common ancestor.